Mylifewithparkinsons. Today is Make It Monday. I love Make It Mondays. Mondays, we always try something a little bit different or a favorite or something. And today I was going to try something for breakfast. And I didn't have one of the ingredients. And I thought, you know what? I feel like dessert. So I'm doing a very, very easy dessert. I'm having a busy day today, so I don't want to be doing too much. So therefore, dessert it was. Don't even know what to call them. I'd call them ice cream sandwiches, but there's just really nothing to it. Store-bought cookies. I'm going to just use chocolate chips. Just take a hold of my, bring it down a little bit. Okay, hold my chocolate chip. Then I got over here a partially thawed bucket of Cool Whip. I don't even have it all the way thawed. I just have it partially thawed. And I'm going to put it on. Just as much as you want. If you had hands that worked, you'd be able to do this a lot neater than me. And then I'm going to put the cookie on top, just like that. And there's going to be my ice cream sandwich. I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to wrap it up. You can't even see what I'm doing. Hang on. I'm doing this all wrong. Oh, you can see what I'm doing. You don't need to see me. You just need to see what I'm doing. Okay. So now I'm going to just wrap this up like that. And that's got a sandwich in it. I've got another Tupperware container. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to make it a bucket full of them. And I'll probably leave one here for Bill. I'm going to take the rest over and give them to Finn's mom and dad when they get home. They won't be home until tomorrow. They're out at the cabin. But I think that he'll enjoy these. So we'll get them in his house. I mean, yes, you could put ice cream in here. But this Cool Whip, when it freezes, it is just like a really nice vanilla ice cream. It's very nice. So let's go just saran wrap. Put that down here. I should have a glue and see if I was going to tell a story or not. I can't remember if I told the story yesterday. I think I did. Can't remember. Let me just take a real quick look. Sometimes I'm organized, sometimes I'm not. More than likely not. Okay, I can't remember if I did or not. Let me think if I can think of something. What could I say? We get into enough shenanigans in my family. Oh, I can tell you. By the time my brother Gary, he decided to go pick a flower for Mom. We were in Burlington, Ontario, and there was woods at the end of our street. And Gary, he's always getting into trouble, but he was down there and he wanted to pick flowers for me. And Mom had told us when we moved in, there were certain flowers you weren't allowed to pick. Well, of course, those were the pretty flowers. So he was down there and he thought, you know what, if I don't tell her I picked it for her, she'll just think it's there. So he went and he picked this beautiful flower. And did he just take it in the house and leave it? No. He buried it out in the yard so that it was growing right in the front garden, right where everybody could see it. And he was so proud of himself. It took Mom about 2 days, and she discovered it. And as soon as she saw it, she knew what it was. It is against the law in Canada to replant or to move the provincial flower. In Ontario, the trillium was the provincial flower. And he had not only moved it, he had planted it in Mom's front garden. So that every time a policeman would come by, he could see it and could question her about it. Well, he got in lots of trouble. Lots and lots of trouble. But anyway, in our household, they believed in spankings. There was no question that they believed in spankings. But Mom, she'd do her thing. She would go into the kitchen and she would tap on the counter and say, with a wooden spoon, and say, "Just wait till your father comes home." And we knew, oh no, trouble with Dad would come home. So anyway, Dad would come home. Well, that night we were all outside and Gary was told to go to his room because Dad was coming down to talk to him. Poor Dad. Come home from work and have to do that. You know, that's crazy. But anyway, he Gary down the room. Gary got a paddle on the backside. And next thing I knew, here was the front of the house was where Gary's bedroom window was. And at the front of the house, here was Gary's little red bare bum all hanging out the window. His little tiny bum just hanging out the window. He said, I need to cool it down. Oh, you need to cool it down. What a little character that one was. But well, we knew there was things that we weren't supposed to do. And if we did them, we were going to get in trouble. No question about it. And then there was one day when Mom had her little wooden spoon out. And again, Gary, it was always Gary gets in trouble. So here's Gary, he was getting in trouble. And so Mom, she went over to the counter and she tapped that wooden spoon to let him know. She didn't have to say anything. She just tapped that spoon and he would know. He's going to get in trouble if he didn't stop. So anyway, he looked at her. He didn't do much about it. Next thing you know, she taps it again. She taps it quite hard the second time. Well, when she tapped it quite hard the second time, didn't you know the wooden spoon cracked? And Gary saw it crack. He thought that was the funniest thing going because he said, now she can't give me a wallop with it. Well, anyway, he didn't think it was quite so funny when she went over, very slowly, opened the drawer, and there was like 6 more wooden spoons in the drawer. He didn't find it quite as funny then. But I thought it was pretty funny. I was a good kid though. I didn't get it very often. Not very often. But I did get a lot of, you know, things that I would never have done to my kids. But it was normal for them. This is the way they raised us. But anyway, Mom would say, if we did something we weren't supposed to do, Mom would say, well, you just remember at supper time, you won't get any dessert. And then she would proceed to make whatever that child's favorite dessert was. That's what dessert was that night. She'd make that child's favorite dessert and make you help make it, knowing that you weren't going to get any. And so you'd make it and help them. And then at supper time, just before dessert time, she would look over at my dad. The cruelty of this is unbelievable, but we never even realized it was cruel. She would look over at my dad and she'd go, Harold, Darlene has something to tell you. And if I dared to forget what it was, if I said, oh no, I don't have anything, then it would be worse. So I would know that I was going to have to confess. So I'd say to him something, Dad, I broke the lamp or whatever it was. Were you fooling around? Yes, I was, Dad. He very calmly would say, okay, get up, go to your room, wait for me. And then you would have to get up knowing that they were all going to get your favorite dessert. You weren't going to get any. Wait until they'd all had their dessert. And then Dad would come down and make sure you'd learned the lesson that you weren't supposed to do whatever it was you had done. Make sure you understood that he loved you very dearly and that he was doing it for your own good so that you would learn from this mistake. And then he would say, I kept you a little dessert. And then you could go back out, say you were sorry to Mom, and have a little dessert. But it was like, my gosh, I said when I grew up, there was no way I was doing that to my kids. No way. But I do remember a Thanksgiving when Cal was not behaving. Not at all. And he would not be thankful for his meal. He was just, no way, he wasn't being thankful. It wasn't what he wanted. He wanted something different. And he wasn't going to be thankful for it. And I said to him, I said, if you do not say that you're thankful for that, you're not eating it. I said, the only thankful people would have their meal provided for them. And no, he wasn't going to do it. So I had to stand my ground. I mean, I had said it. I had to stand my ground. And I said to him, I felt terrible, but I said to him, okay, well, go to your room. I said, when you have decided you're going to come out and say you're sorry and be thankful, you can have your dinner. So then I waited, and 10 minutes later, he wasn't coming out. 10 minutes later, I went down, still feeling bad. I said to him, okay, another chance. Do you feel like coming out now and saying so? He goes, nope. And I said, okay, well, I'm just going to tell you, 5 more minutes, then we're clearing off the table, and then there isn't anything until tomorrow. And he said, okay. So then 5 minutes went by, he didn't come out. I said, Cal, you're free to come out now. I said, we're all finished clearing up. And he says, all right, where's dessert? I said, you don't get dessert. I said, you didn't eat your dinner. I said, you don't get dessert. He said, you never told me I wouldn't get dessert. I said, yes, I told you there'd be nothing until the morning. And they said, in the morning, there'll be supper from last night. I said, I'll warm it up again. It'll be all nice. But I said, you're not going to get a bowl of sugar cereal when you didn't eat turkey. So I said, you just know that you're still going to have it. Well, you know what? That was many, many years ago. He was like 9 years old. And he was just in a real bratty little stage, but he was about 9 years old. You know, he's never forgotten the Thanksgiving that he didn't get supper. Never forgot it. Neither did I, because I cried myself to sleep that night. But it was like, I had to stand by it, because if I hadn't, then he would have just always gotten away with it. If they get away with it, they're never going to learn. I wasn't really a tough mom, but I was a no-nonsense mom. I didn't really stand for too much guff. Okay, this is the last. I can do one cookie that's altered here. Those 3 Chinese cookies, I can't do anything with that. So I'll do one more that's regular, and then one more that's kind of an alternate. Oh, I think the garbage is done. He never came back up. Must have been gone down for coffee, too. Now, these are going to freeze for, probably 6 hours. So I'll freeze them for about 6 hours, but you won't need to see us eat them because you know what a sandwich, it just goes hard like an ice cream sandwich. That Cool Whip doesn't stay all sloppy like this. No, it goes hard like an ice cream sandwich. I'd love it if you could try this one day. It's a very easy way to make you just put together store-bought things. You don't even have to make your own cookies. Got little kids, boy, they'd love to have something like this. All right, here we go. Now let's get the okay. There. Now we have a bucket full of sandwiches, and just put them in the freezer. After we freeze them, give them to the kids. All right, thanks for joining me, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to the rest of my day being just nice and easy. Okay, bye-bye.